the 6 games played here. They look to take the series from the Tigers today. The Bats have been alive in all 3 games. We'll see if they remain so next. It's the Orioles on Massillon, and it's the day game on a beautiful summer Sunday here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Big houses for these games, including a sellout for the ball game last night. A big crowd will be here today. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne. Welcome. A good Sunday to you. And for the Orioles, they wrap up what already is a very good homestand before they head out west for their only West Coast trip this season. And for the Orioles against these Detroit Tigers, they also wrap up this series. What a series it has been this year. Take a look at these offensive numbers. The Orioles have the 4-2 in the series. The batting average, .302 for the Orioles. Only the average against the Red Sox at .307 is higher against any other team this year. The runs 37-28, 9-8 in the home run department. And how about the ERAs? If you put the two together for the Orioles, comes out to 4.75. Put the starter bullpen for Detroit, it comes out to 6.06. These two teams, Jim, have gone at it with the bats.
Really have. I mean, if you got to go to Detroit and look at the Tillman Verlander. The Orioles jumped on Justin for a 6-run inning. So Tillman pitches really well, and then the Gausman last night. Those are the only 2 starters of all the starters that have stifled the offenses. So we'll see what Ubaldo can do. And then the other exciting thing to me is, we saw Daniel Norris as a Blue Jay. This would have been David Price today, as you know. So he gets traded to the Blue Jays. Daniel Norris was a guy that if the Orioles had lost Stan Duquette, the vice president of baseball personnel, Orioles would have had him, so he's going to pitch today. So all kinds of little scenarios goes on. But this kid really showed us a good arm and a good Ubaldo. What is he going to do against a very good offense for the Tigers? Keep the ball down, because they've been swinging the bat until Gausman was throwing 96, 98, and took care of that last night.
And Jim, we're going to get to see a lineup again. We're going to see a lot of with power now here. The lineup is probably going to change less, and it'll be more stable for the final 2 months.
Yeah, well, you're getting a guy that hit .438 for the month of July. He's a Gold Glove winner. They've been looking for a left fielder, as we talked about last night, since the beginning of spring training. So, and the important thing, obviously, you want to win today. It's very hard to win a 4-game series, but if they do, they'll be able to do that by winning today. But going to the West Coast, 21-31, big ballparks, score 5 runs at home, about 3.8 runs on the road. So he's going to help them not only with a glove, but hopefully over the last 2 months with the offense.
For the Orioles, they certainly have enjoyed home cooking. Let's see if they can continue to enjoy it on this Sunday. Tigers at the Orioles, as the Orioles look to take this series 3 out of 4. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Summer Sunday here in Baltimore. Take a look at our BGE home game time temperature, 86 degrees. BGE Home, Baltimore's home team for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Why would you call anyone else? For the Detroit Tigers, here's their starting lineup. It'll be Ghost, Iglesias, Kinsler, Victor, and J.D. Martinez, McCann, Castellanos, Sevilla, and Davis. And for Ian Kinsler, what a series he's had first 3 games.
And Ubaldo Jimenez will try to kind of atone for the first start he had after the All-Star break in Detroit. 4 2/3 innings. You can see the pitch makeup, 2 seamers. Needs a pitch down to be effective. Curveball, slider, and then the splitter. So again, last year 6-9, this year 8-6. Much better ERA, command better, only 38 walks. So walks down, strikeouts up. And again, pretty much, not a lot of home runs, but did give 3 home runs in that game in Detroit. So we know here at Camden Yards, very comfortable pitching here at home because, and I don't know why, because it's a tough place to pitch. But 6-1 with an ERA, just a smidgen over 2 runs a game here at Camden Yards.
His home ERA is 4th best in the American League for any pitcher. And you go back to last year in June, he's 9-1 since then at home. First ball put up in the air by Ghost. Left center field, traveling. And on the warning track, Adam Jones, are you ready to play? He was.
Yeah, you got to go a long way. Parra, a couple of Gold Gloves. Jones with 4. Reimold and Wright today. Machado Platinum Gold Glove winner a couple of years ago. Hardy 3 in a row. Scope, Davis, and Wieters, least amount of errors in the major leagues. The only team that's close plays over in the National League, and that's the Dodgers.
So a quick out here for Jimenez. Here's Iglesias coming up. He's faced Jimenez only once, had a home run off him. He's had a 5-for-14 series, and the pitch taken outside for a ball. 7 runs on 7 hits and 4 2/3 innings against Jimenez in Detroit in that start this year. He has lost more games against the Tigers than any other ball club. He's 5-10 in his career against the Detroit Tigers with an ERA of 5.33. Walters Ball Club now 3 games above the 500 mark, and that one's going to be bunted foul.
Yeah, take a look.
Let's take a look at our Jeep inside the numbers.
And you can see the difference. Drew Hutchison, having a good year because they score a lot of runs for him. But I mean, look at that difference. I mean, that's off the charts. Guthrie, big ballpark at home, on the road a little different. But the difference when you look here, this is the hitter's park. I mean, it's not that you don't in the American League go to other hitters' parks, but that's just an amazing number. But,
that one will bounce.
But as you know, a lot of it has to do with when he's successful, he's going to throw strike one. A lot of movement in the strike zone, not overpowering, maybe 90 to 92, and then be able to use his secondary pitches.
And that one's in the air down the line. It's heading foul. And that's where it will stay. So Iglesias on the foul ball, 2-ball, 2-strike count on him.
Yeah, and the difference is right there. That was a split-fingered fastball. So if it's 1-2, 0-2, you can throw it underneath the strike zone. Hope that he chases. Got to throw it more for a strike. It becomes more hittable.
That one up the middle is going to be a base hit. Iglesias 6 for 15 in this series. He's now 11 for 25 this year against the Orioles in the Detroit series. He gets it done, and we've seen him do it along with the other Tigers throughout this series. Take the ball where it's delivered and don't try and pull the ball, and they've made it work here, even though the Orioles have won 2 out of 3. Brad Ausmus's ball club's dropped to 4 games below 500. Here's Kinsler. Kinsler, of all, as we showed you, has had the best series, 10 for 14. As you would guess, he's got a 3-game hit streak in light of that. Jimenez with a runner at first base, and the pitch on the inside corner for a strike. Quick turnaround to Tom Woodring.
Yeah, they're kind of wondering. Tom Woodring, we've seen him in all 4 games. He's moved himself all the way around the infield. Now he's behind the plate, so you kind of wonder what his strike zone is going to be. I tell you, Ubaldo hopes he gets the low strike and will make him a better pitcher.
That one's going to be low and away, and that's where Wieters set up. Matt Bat behind the plate after playing his first game this season, and only the second of his career as a starter at first base, to get his bat in the lineup yesterday because he had good numbers against Sanchez, who was pitching for Detroit. 1-ball, 1-strike count. Very little breeze here to start the ball game. Slider's going to miss outside, 2-1.
Yeah, you talk to hitters. I remember when George Brett hit 390, and a lot of people thought that he was going to hit 400. They said, does the ball look big? He said, yeah, it looks like a beach ball. And you get the idea that Kinsler slowed it down pretty well the way he's hitting line drives.
That one's going to be taken on a scoop. Good play to hold the runner at first base, and the count goes to 3-1. Jimenez has been able, as Jim said, to cut those walks down. He's given up 3 each of the last 2 ball games. And on the year, the 38 walks, real good ratio with 108 strikeouts. In fact, he is 10th in the league in strikeouts per 9. Runner goes, won't matter. It's a walk, and Jimenez in a bit of a problem here in the first inning. 2 on and 1 down.
Well, it really is, and kind of went back to 4 starts ago where he pitched 5 innings. He walked 3, but 100 pitches in Minnesota. Now they're a very good home team. They hit well, one of the better offensive teams. So it took him 20 pitches an inning, and since then, a couple of bad games, 7 runs in both of them, and then even in his last game where he pitched well, gave up 2 runs in the first inning. Slow start.
Well, let's see what happens here with 2 on. This has been the inning where he's been touched up for 10 runs in the first inning this year. Martinez, 10 allowed, 9 earned in the 20 starts. The Orioles are 10-10 in the ball games he has started this year. Victor Martinez, 9 for 27. He's had the long ball off Jimenez, and the pitch is going to be away, and he falls behind him 2-0. This is a batter he wants to be very careful with, but a tough situation to do that. 2 base runners, Iglesias the lead runner, Kinsler out at first.
It's kind of, the numbers tell you that Victor likes to hit Ubaldo, and again they average well over 300 with 4 home runs, but he's 1 for 13 in the series.
2-0 count. He may get one to hit here. He will foul that one away. Pretty good pitch to go after in a 2-ball 1-strike count. Victor Martinez is a switch hitter, and they're coming into the ball game pretty distinct differences. Right-handed 361, left-handed 217. But as we mentioned, 5 of the 6 home runs he has are from this side of the plate.
Yeah, so really pretty much in the middle of the plate. Breaking ball speeds up the bat. He's been a little bit late, and again the knee injury, the meniscus problem, had to have it operated on, missed some time on the DL, came back very quickly to get ready for the beginning of the season. And then at 36, coming off one of those, second in the MVPs, hit over 330, hit over 30 home runs, drove in over 100 runs. But your body sometimes doesn't heal at age 36 as maybe well as it would 10 years younger.
You can't remember that far back. And the pitch is going to miss. A little bit low in a 3-ball 1-strike count. The Tigers have had lots of chances in this offensive series. They've gone 10 for 26 with runners in scoring position. Overall as a club they are 5th in the American League in these situations. And in 2 of the 3 games in this series they jumped out for runs in the first inning. Yesterday Gausman was able to get them 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, there's an axiom in baseball. You want to throw enough strikes to get them to swing at balls, and you can't do that when you're behind. And he was behind Kinsler. He walked him. 3-1. He has to throw a strike, and Victor Martinez is waiting. And the reason he's a lifetime 304 hitter is that he does use the whole field. Now, hasn't done it in this series, but this hadn't had a lot of hitters counts.
3-1 delivery on the way. Puts that one up in the air to right center field. Jones chasing Reimold, and Adam will get there. Runners will tag. Throw will come into second base. They both move up, but a big out. Martinez drove that deep, one of the deeper parts of the ballpark.
Yeah, I think we're getting an idea. Anthony goes. He hits a fly ball left center. Now, he hits this pretty well off the bat. It looks like it's pretty routine, but the ball is carrying. I think Adam Jones knew he had it covered. And again, very sun-splashed, glary afternoon here in Baltimore.
So 2 in scoring position, and here's J.D. Martinez. Kind of surprisingly back in the lineup. He had to come out after he fouled the ball off his knee in the ball game last night, but he's right back in right field, and this is a dangerous situation. He's .320 for the month of July, and has started out here in the month of August with the limited at-bats in that ball game yesterday. But he's been tough on the Orioles. That'll be fouled off, squibbed off the end of the bat.
So there it is against the American League East. I don't know if you love to hit him, or maybe the ballparks are more friendly, even though you play some of those games in Detroit. Pretty select numbers right there. Melky Cabrera, of course, start and been red hot lately.
Got him to go after one at 92 in a 1-2 count.
So maybe if you're pitching well, just a 2-seam fastball, ends up in the middle of the plate, but good movement. Talked about, again, throwing enough strikes to get him out with balls. Maybe you can do that. Real good breaking ball hitter for a big, strong, young hitter.
Chance to get out of the inning for Jimenez. 1-2 delivery on the way, and that'll be fouled back into the screen. Martinez, .297 with runners in scoring position this season for the Tigers. Tigers seeing their postseason hopes slipping here. They're 4.5 out of the wild card. They're not going to catch the division leaders, 12.5 behind KC. Here's the 1-2 delivery again, and that ball put up in the air again to center field. Going back, Adam Jones, 400 feet, and goodbye home run off the piping on the railing in the bullpen. And Martinez, his second hit ever against Jimenez, is the same as the first one, a home run.
Yeah, so he's now 2 for 8, and so that's only 250, but not a very good pitch. It's a splitter. It hangs up very much like the one in Tiger Stadium. I mean, you can't throw it more in the middle of the plate. Wrong guy to do. And I thought it hit the top of the wall. It actually hit the railing about 10, 12 feet. So the ball flying, not a good day against the power guys, or maybe anybody in this park, to get the ball up and in the middle of the plate.
That's 29 home runs for J.D. Martinez. And a pitch taken outside by McCann. Martinez now is third in home runs behind Trout and Pujols. In RBIs, he now is up to 71, tying him for fourth with the Orioles' Chris Davis. And that is fouled off into the Detroit dugout. So a chance to get out of the inning goes by the way as Martinez rocks one. He's had 3 home runs against the Orioles this season, and in the 7 games these teams have played, J.D. Martinez has got 9 RBIs against the Orioles. 1-1 delivery towards the hole. Manny Machado will cut it off and record the out. So it's a big Tiger first inning. 3 out of the 4 games they've gotten on the board first, and they get 3 here. In the league, put up 3. Now the Orioles' turn. Take a look at the O's starting lineup, brought to you by Southwest. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Machado, Power, and Jones, Davis, Wieters, and Hardy, Paredes, Scope, and Reimold. Chris Davis, some big numbers. You see the 17 home runs at home, tied for most.
And Daniel Norris, I guess, debut for the Tigers. Not his debut in the big leagues. Actually pitched against the Orioles last year with the Jays, so he comes over. He's got a fastball. He's got a curveball. He's got 2 kinds of changeups. We saw him throw as high as 95, 96 in spring training. Second time was pretty much a dominating performance. And again, these are the numbers. Got the pitch in April. Got a tired arm. Sent him to the minors. 3-10 down there, and now a chance to take David Price's spot in the rotation.
Manny Machado in the leadoff spot with a 5-game hit streak. He's had a very good series. The 5 for 12, couple of home runs, 4 RBIs. Norris will get ahead of him with a couple of quick strikes. Norris 1-1. That's his mark this year. That's his major league record. 0-2 delivery and a swing and a miss and a K.
Yeah, he's very calm, and he can explode to the plate. The games in spring training we actually did on Mass and TV, and right here McCann just goes up in the zone. He goes out of the zone, which is where you want to pitch when you're ahead, something that Ubaldo Jimenez could not do to Martinez. There's Manny red hot, his 23rd home run. So this guy, again, you will not take him for granted. Once you saw him pitch in spring training, he was that good.
That'll bring Parra to the plate. Second game with the Orioles, 15-game hit streak extended in his first at bat in the game last night, and the pitch taken for a ball. For Norris, in the limited major league games, this has been the inning that's bothered him most. First inning, 5 earned runs, ERA of 9, and that pitch will miss, and the count goes to 2-0. Tom Woodring generally has a pretty tight strike zone. You got to put it in there if you're going to get a called strike. We'll see if that stands up here in this ball game. 2-0 delivery on the way, and a swing and a miss, and an 88-mile-an-hour little loopy pitch there. 2-1.
Oh, looper. Well, it's funny when you're 22 and they get you 3 runs and you want to throw a strike. Some people call it the BP fastball, where you just take a little bit off and make sure it's over the plate.
2-1 delivery. Parra will foul that one back. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
And until you see him a lot, you go, you don't know if he tried to subtract or it just happened.
Yeah. The Orioles have done well, 15-9 against left-handed starters, 5th best win percentage in the American League off left-handers. 2-2 delivery on the way, and that's way up high. That one got away from him. For Parra, the Orioles looking for the regular left field position to be held, whether it's a right-hander or left-hander on the mound against the O's. 3-2 delivery on the way, and another K.
Yeah, when you have good stuff, and he does. I mean, number 2 round draft choice, and he was the highest prospect in the Blue Jays organization. That's how you get a David Price, one of the best pitchers in baseball. And so again, when he's able to get his stuff over, I can't imagine it's going to be a walk in the park.
No. Out of Johnson City, Tennessee, he's always been a very highly rated prospect, and still is. Down to third, Castellanos, a nice play, and Adam Jones is retired. So Norris starts it out with a 1-2-3 first inning, and the Tigers the early lead of 3-0. Today's game brought to you by Miller Lite. Sun-drenched ballpark here at Camden Yards. Part of the crowd, including the Teachers of the Year in the state of Maryland. We welcome them. Jody Zepp is the Teacher of the Year for the state out of Hammond High School in Howard County. And Jody, congratulations on a very fine recognition. Never enough said for teachers. Pitch on the way by Jimenez. The off-speed breaking ball is in there. Castellanos up. 1 for 9, but that one hit a home run in this series. Good for a couple of RBIs.
Yeah, those are the only runs off Kevin Gausman. Right center. The big fly.
Here's a look at our Maryland Live Casino inside the numbers.
Yeah, so look at the RBIs since the early July, and Nick Castellanos is right up there. And then we told you Melky Cabrera has turned it on. Mike Trout, kind of a typical month for him. It seems.
Either 1 or 2 and everything, right? And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Orioles really within shooting distance now of the Yankees. Yankees lost yesterday, so the Orioles come in 5 games out, but a lot of division games left. That is not obviously an insurmountable number. They're only 1 game out of the second wild card spot by Minnesota, but they're only 2 games down in the loss column to the Angels, who are the first place wild card team. 2-2 delivery on the way off the end, back into the screen.
Well, I thought the in Buck's pregame press conference monologue, whatever you want to call it, today it was kind of a monologue. He was terrific today. Yeah, it was a monologue.
Yep.
One of the writers threw about 3 or 4 cliches out. He said, well, that's kind of like the phone call from David Letterman where they wanted to see if I would go in even more. That's what you talked about, Woodring not getting the closer pitches. But anyway, he said, so are you going to worry what the Yankees do, and day at a time. I mean, all the things in there. But when you're behind, all you do is worry about yourself.
Yeah.
And the Orioles are very aware that they're not a good road team, so they got to win today.
Down to third base, Manny Machado backhands. Got him. 1 away in the second. When the Orioles return to town, it's going to be Friday, August 14th. Don't miss the season's next firework night. It'll be the A's in town. Stick around after the game. Beautiful post-game fireworks display presented by Baltimore Area Credit Unions. So tickets are on sale. Go to Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Alex Avila. Avila's had an 0 for 4. Again, he's making the start at first base. Miguel Cabrera traveling with the ball club, still the league's leading hitter. And they do not know when he's going to be back. He's doing some baseball things, but not ready to return, and they're not guessing on any date.
Well, I'll tell you, you're right about this tiny strike zone. Ubaldo's kind of looking in, thought he hit the inside corner. Didn't get it.
Fouled that one off outside of first. Avila's had a 6 for 25 off Jimenez with a home run. So that's one of the reasons he gets that start at first base in this ball game. 31-year-old right-hander, 96 wins, 90 losses in his career, now trying to get to that triple-digit win mark. 1-1 delivery, missed down low and bounces around.
Yeah, unable to start it around the knees and let it run just a little bit low. Got ahead of J.D. Martinez, hung a splitter. That's the 3-run home run. Of course, if he knew he was going to do that, he probably would have pitched around him. You just don't know that.
2-1 a bouncer.
But he's been inconsistent with his command the last 4 starts. And you know, last game, the two runs early against Atlanta. And I don't think anybody thought he was going to be able to pitch into the 7th, but he did. The Orioles got a lot of runs for him. Front shoulder was flying, couldn't stay closed.
3-1 into the shift. Jonathan Scopen. Avila is retired.
Well, there's an obvious, you know, the shift kills people like Alex Avila. Every once in a while, he'll hit the ball to the left, but you know, it probably goes back 4 or 5 years ago when he hit 290. It was a base hit because they didn't shift on him. Now it's a routine ground ball.
Yep.
Got his pitch, hit it hard, right to the second baseman playing in short right field.
So a couple of outs here, and here's Raja Davis, right fielder, batting 9th. Hello. A 3-game hit streak coming in. He's had a very good series, 5 for 12. Manny Machado charging in at third base on that delivery, and a 1-0 count. Scoring 3 runs already for the Tigers. They have upped Jimenez's ERA at home. We told you it was 2.13, 4th best home ERA in the American League, and the Tigers get 3 in the first inning. 1 ball, 1 strike count. It's going to be a quick one. Hardy up, and of course he got him. And a 1-2-3 inning. So after 3 runs, 2 hits in the first, 3 up, 3 down in this one. Between innings, United States Navy Medical Corps out of the Naval Academy, 1999. She was deployed to Afghanistan, then the Navy Medical Center in Portsmouth, Virginia, and then went to Central and South America on the USNS Comfort program in support of the Continuing Promise mission. And she's received Defense Meritorious Service Awards, 2 Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medals. A couple of the kids on hand, and we welcome Lieutenant Commander Carrie Hudson. Big smiles there for the kids. The older one, the younger one, was just going to eat anything in sight. Here's Chris Davis. Great to recognize them for their service. Chris, good series, 4 for 12, a homer, 6 RBIs in this series against the Tigers. He's got 7 against the Tigers on the year. Chris starts the day 7th in home runs, now tied for 4th in RBIs. And those numbers have just kind of crept up as the season has gone along with Chris.
Well, he's hit lefties well, you know, a much higher average. Of course, he and the rest of the Orioles, when they go on this trip, they just, Chris much better. When we showed you the graphic earlier, 17 of those home runs here. He hits better here than on the road. They score. A run to almost 2/10, 3/10 better on the road. But they're a better team now. You know, we got Parra, they've been pitching well, best defense. Take my chances with that club.
Next RBI for Chris will equal the total that he had last year. His career number came in 2013. He had 138 RBIs in 2013. He'll make a run at 100. Have to have a big finish to get there, but he's on his way. 3 ball, 2 strike delivery from the lefty will be foul back and out of play. But Showalter is wondering the other day whether or not anybody was going to reach 100 RBIs. The leader right now, Josh Donaldson, in the American League, has got 75. And so we took a look. When was the last time in the American League that there was not a 100 RBI producer? He draws the walk, and the answer is Eddie Murray. In 1981, Eddie Murray won the RBI title in the American League with 78 runs batted in.
Well, that was the strike year.
Yes. The shortened year.
Yeah, they missed 52 or 3 games.
So not to have 100 RBIs, point being, is a very rare thing.
Well, you see, I mean, what Arenado of Nolan Arenado of the Rockies has 80 over the National League. Which the American League We'll still get 2 months to drive in.
Well, this time I think there'll be 3 or 4 guys. I think we'll get there. Matt Wieters, 5-game hit streak, good series. He has had a 5 for 9 against the Tigers in the first 3 games. Davis at first base with a short lead. That'll go to center field. Ghosts will have to play it on a couple of hops, and the Orioles have 2 on.
Yeah, a little unlucky if you're Daniel Norris and you're very happy. If you're
Karen Zubris.
Yes, that's
she's
it.
Maryland. The Maryland lottery contestant of the game from Essex. You get 500 for being selected, 500 for every home run hit. Play baseball buck scratch-offs. Win up to 50,000. Enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Go to mlb.tv.com/baseball.
Well, the first 2 games here, we know how they went. Tigers would take an early lead. The Orioles, they had 6 and 7 run leads. Pitcher for the Tigers would struggle. Bullpen would come in. Some walks. Hung on to win the first game 9-8.
Starting out like this is going to be another one of those offensive affairs.
Have in mind.
Bunting to move him up, popped it up, and a diving catch made by Norris. Nowhere to go for a double play, though.
Well, I don't understand that. I don't even care if he gets it down. I mean, this is the American League. You're down by 3-0. Jimenez is struggling. Home run guy. Pitcher struggling. Rookie. And then he makes a great play. Makes it even worse. It's a low percentage play because J.J. Hardy doesn't bunt a lot. Not that he's not a good bunter. Because when he sacrifices, he usually gets the job done. But to give up an out against the Tigers? And I don't know how that happened.
That's a play. That's J.J.'s decision.
Yeah.
That is not a bunt situation put on from the bench. So Paredes up now with 1 down. Runners remain at first and second base. Left-hander's delivery to him is a chopper towards second. Kinsler, Iglesias. And so much for the inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. The Tigers after 2 lead at 3-0. A chance to go 6-1. They've hit .262 in the stand with 11 home runs, 5.5 runs per ball game in this homestand, giving up 3.54, and as a result, the Orioles are now 32-19 on the year at home. They have liked Camden Yards.
They have, and that's with 2 of their starters really getting knocked around. Miguel Gonzalez, Wei and Chen. Tillman was very special. Same with Gausman.
Jimenez had a quiet discussion with Tom Woodring, the home plate umpire, when he came off at the end of the second inning after retiring. I'm sure talking about the strike zone a little. That's where you'd like to hear the conversation because it was very quiet and very respectful. Well, Woodring talked with him. In
the old days, you could actually, guy calls a ball that is either low or inside. You kind of wanted to know.
Yeah.
It's not like you're obviously want the pitch. If you get to throw a pitch, and the difference between a ball and a strike, and you're a pitcher, you go, I want it to be a strike. But if you don't know if it's in or it was low, you don't see him do that. So maybe I think that's maybe the conversation.
And Woodring seemed to respond. 1-1 delivery on the way, and a swing and a miss. That one dropping off the table. Leadoff batter Anthony Gose flying out to center field his first time up, 3rd inning. A 3-0 lead for the Tigers. On the J.D. Martinez home run is 29th. And that's one of those right there.
It really is. And you know, that's a pitch when you're going well or the strike zone's big. Maybe the edge of the ball gets the plate. Again, some umpires have a bigger strike zone.
2-2 will be fouled off. Came back inside on him.
And the one thing, the Tigers are looking for their speed guys to get on because you can run against Ubaldo. And Gose is one of those guys with 15 steals. Lacey has got 10 steals. Kinsler can run a little bit.
And just fouled that one off out of the mid of Matt Wieters.
And then Raji Davis at the bottom of the lineup hitting 9th with 15 steals. So Brad Ausmus on the left, the manager is going, okay, we got a 3-0 lead. If we get the right people on, we will put some pressure on Ubaldo.
2 ball, 2 strike count. And that's there, and he knew it. He was ready to walk away and not look back. First strikeout for Jimenez.
Now with 2 strikes, usually that's why it's so hard to hit 176 average. You got to cover everywhere, and he's either looking soft or he's looking away, and that ball definitely over the plate.
First strikeout. Jimenez, 109 Ks and 115 innings work.
The strikeouts 8.58 per 9 innings.
10th best in the league. And the pitch on the inside corner. Iglesias would score on that home run picked up in the first inning. Jimenez delivery to him and a broken back ground ball. Machado knows who's running, takes his time. And there are 2 down. On Saturday, August 15, the first 20,000 fans 15 and over get the J.J. Hardy orange replica jersey. Birds will be taking on the A's. You can add to your Birdland wardrobe. And you can get tickets by going to Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. That'll bring Ian Kinsler up. Kinsler drew a walk and would score. 2 down and nobody on. Orioles put the shift on against Kinsler. Kinsler hitting .500 against the Orioles this season with a couple of RBIs and a bunch of runs scored. Kinsler comes in 4th, tied for 4th in hits. He and Xander Bogaerts of the Red Sox both with 122 hits, with Kipnis still on top with the Indians. Jason Kipnis leads the league with 132 base hits. 1-1 pitch on the way, and that is a strike.
Yeah, Kinsler out of Tucson, Arizona. Went to Central Arizona. Actually went to ASU for a short time, and I guess one of the competitors for second base was Dustin Pedroia. So he moved on to the University of Missouri. Probably a good move. And both of them end up in the big leagues.
2-ball, 2-strike count. Their manager ends up in San Diego as the manager there.
Yeah.
2-ball, 2-strike count with 2 down. Hit hard to third. Manny Machado. Got him. So that's going to be 7 in a row retired since the home run by Martinez. Tigers have a 3-0 lead. Five underrated deals, he said. The Cardinals, Sisnick, Broxton, and Moss. They've added a couple of good arms and a bat. Pirates with Soria, Blanton, and Ramirez. Again, 2 arms and a bat. Dodgers with Wood, Latos, Johnson, and Avalon really have added to their bullpen strength. He said of the Orioles getting Parra, given the Orioles pitching and core lineup, the Orioles should not be counted out. And the Blue Jays veteran depth with Mark Lowe. We'll see how all that plays out in the final 2 months.
Of course, the Blue Jays also get a starting shortstop in David Price.
1-0 delivery on the way. Jonathan Scope to the hole. Can't feel it. Castellanos knocked it down, but could not keep it in the glove.
Not hit very hard, I would imagine, and we'll wait to see. Either way, he gets to first. And he just missed it. And that slips. No way to recover once he starts sliding.
We'll wait on the call. Base hit. Wow. So the Orioles get their second hit of the ballgame. Leadoff single by Jonathan Scope. Nolan Reimold getting the start in right field. Only 4 at-bats here in the series. He has taken an 0 for 4. Nolan's time, obviously, with Parra here making the starts in left field, along with other players on the Orioles like Travis Snyder. And have time cut down. David Lowe. 0-1. Left-hander's pitch driven down the line in right, and that will be foul.
Yeah, we haven't even seen Daniel Norris go to the pitches that were so effective in spring training for him the second time he faced the Orioles, and that was, he has a changeup, just a straight change, and the second time he turned it over, and then the power curveball, which he hasn't thrown for a strike yet. Or 92% fastballs, and of course, if you get ahead and you pitch at 92 up out of the zone, and tough pitch to get on top.
Reimold 300 against left-handers, going 12 for 40 with a couple of home runs. Only a $167 though off right-handers. 0-2 count. Jonathan Scope, not a big league at first. Outfield shaded a bit to right. Left-hander's delivery to him, broken back ground ball. That's a number. Going to go to second. They'll get one, and that's it. Shortstop Iglesias.
Yeah, nice play by Alex Avila. I mean, he pounced on it. Knows he's not going to turn two, but ideally you like to get the lead runner without taking a whole lot of risk, and he did.
Hey, it's time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use O's Couch Cam, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile.
So there's the first curveball, and it jams. Well, you don't usually get jammed by a breaking ball, but it's sharp breaker inside part of the plate to Nolan Reimold.
Bring Manny Machado up with a runner at first base and one down. Reimold now over there. Avila holding the bag on him. Norris's delivery, and that will be taken up high and away for a ball. For Manny this year off the left-handers, 291, 297 off righties. Consistent across the board for Manny Machado. Manny comes in the home run department, 9th in the American League in homers with the 23 he's now put up, tied with Bautista. Who would have thought that? Long run, Martinez. Plenty of time to get there and record the out. Well, Parr, as we said, a regular starter now in left field in all likelihood. He can play all positions, but you look what the Orioles have added. If you compare on the right what the Orioles left fielders combined have done this year and Parr's numbers this year.
Yeah, and they've tried, I mean, a multitude of players. You know, whether it's Snyder, whether it's Lowe, whether it's Pierce. Well, even Diaza might have played left early on. I mean, probably, what, 5, 6, 7 players? But what you get is solid defender, better on base percentage, ability to steal a base. And you hope he plays as well here as he did for Milwaukee.
Little lob toss over. For Parra this year against lefties, he's hitting .292. Against right-handers, .335. Much better than his career number against lefties, .236 lifetime, .292 this year. 2 down. He struck out his first time up. Reimold still over there at first, still drawing the attention of Norris. In at third base. Castellanos, Tiger third baseman's right off the cut of the grass, even with 2 down here. Parra will take a breaking ball. That'll be up high.
Yeah, Norris's record at Buffalo. He'd actually played for somebody that managed in the Orioles organization, former Major League catcher Gary Allenson. Said, you know, Chris, it's a big story. Lived in the van, 1978 VW van during spring training, Dunedin, Florida.
Down to first base, right in the bag. Avila's right there to put it away. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. 3 complete here at Camden Yards. Tigers up. Invited them to come watch him pitch and said he'd meet him after the ball game. They are the Dominican Republic team that played in the Ripken World Series. They lost to Mexico in the semifinals, and Mexico came away with a win over the U.S. yesterday in Aberdeen by a score of 5-3. So the Dominican Republic kids get a day at the yard. Compliments of Ubaldo Jimenez. About 30 of them on hand here. 29 of the meeting at any given time.
Exactly. Reminds me of Williamsport. We go up there. $1 hot dogs. Sorry, I'm going to have to. I can't sign that autograph until you get rid of that hot dog.
Here's Victor Martinez, and the pitch is up high for a ball. He flied out his first time up. To Martinez on a McCann here in the 4th inning. 3-2-0 for the Tigers. 0-2-0 for the Orioles. Home run by J.D. Martinez in that first inning is accounted for the 3 that are on the board. And a 2-0 count to start Victor Martinez.
Yeah, this is other than the command problems, this is kind of the way 2014 went for Ubaldo. He didn't pitch as well as he'd like. Ended up 6 and 9. They didn't score a lot of runs. It's changed this year. So here you get an umpire that's not giving you the corners. You're already down by 3, and they get to see you the second time. It's not an easy afternoon.
Bullpen call. 3-0 counter Martinez. And that is there for a strike. Count goes 3-1. Jimenez has walked 1, struck out 1. Norris has a walk and 2 strikeouts for the Tigers. 3-1 delivery on the way. Martinez goes to second on a big hop. Scope is playing back and will record the out. On Sunday, August 16th, when the Orioles take on the Oakland A's, first 7,500 fans 14 and under will get the Chris Tillman growth poster. It's presented by Topps. See how you measure up to the 6'5" O's hurler. Great for the kids. A life-size poster. For tickets, you can go to Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Here's the bat that's made the difference so far in this ball game. J.D. Martinez, his 29th home run and 3 RBIs coming off it in that first inning. The 14th home run surrendered by Ubaldo Jimenez this season.
Yeah, he did everything. He got ahead of him. He just didn't make a good pitch. It was just a splitter that hung.
Oh, Manny Machado, hello. And records the out. Spinorama.
Just a short hop. Didn't exactly set his feet very well, but then again, tremendous arm. It's almost like he's looking in the dugout.
Man. So 2 down on some ground balls. And that's where the Tigers are hitting into the outs on the ground, even if hard.
Yeah, they were 2 balls that were skidding 1 hoppers.
McCann grounded out his first time up. He will take the pitch away. Their young catcher, a 3-game hit going into this ball game. He's done well against the Orioles, 6 for 20 on the year, including 1 home run. 1-0 delivery on the way, and that'll be popped up in the air first base. Davis. He's got it. So 1-2-3 inning. Ubaldo mowing him down. The Orioles need some numbers. A little help from the D doesn't hurt, and Manny gave it to him there. Your low fare now at Southwest.com. Barry Thorne, Jim Palmer with you here at Camden Yards with the Tigers, trying to even up this 4-game set. Day like this, put that sunscreen on and keep it coming. Go thick with it.
Oh. Floppy hat. Gotta have
that too.
Yeah.
Adam Jones will be leading it off against Norris. Jones, Davis, and Wieters. The Orioles have won 7 of their last 8 ball games. They are 3 games above 500 for the first time since July 6. 1 game behind the Twins in the second wild card spot. Adam Jones will take the pitch, and it'll be a strike. Adam grounded out his first time up. Orioles head out after the ball game West Coast tomorrow night at Oakland. Chris Tillman's scheduled to go. He's not going to. And Jesse Chavez will be the opposing pitcher. Foul ball. Tillman still with that bad ankle, so Tyler Wilson in all likelihood will take his place, and they'll have to make a move on the roster tomorrow. Indeed, that is what happens. But Tyler Wilson's the name to go into that spot if Tillman can't go tomorrow. Wilson 5-5 in the minors this year with an ERA of 3.05. Oriole fans have seen him this year.
Yeah, the only good news about going to Oakland, other than in San Francisco, is that Sonny Gray, arguably one of the best right-handers, is pitching today, so you're going to miss him. But collectively, I think their last 5 games, they're 2-1. At least their starters are 2-1 with a 1.80 ERA.
Adam Jones towering one into the blue sky, hauled in by Ghost. Get in on all the baseball action with Masson. You can text the word Orioles to 29292 for team alerts and chances to win exclusive prizes all season long, including meet and greets with your favorite players. That's Orioles 29292 for O's alerts you can't miss.
Okay, you got to go back to Monday night. Alex Wood pitched for Atlanta, and of course, he's a left-hander. Orioles have to come up with one in the bottom of the ninth and then one in the 11th to win. So Norris last year started out in A-ball. We was 6-0, AA 3-1, AAA 3-1. A couple of batters at the end of the year for Toronto in the major leagues, and then made the club out of the spring.
Chris Davis with one down, nobody on, drew a walk. A 1-ball, 1-strike count. Norris working in a hurry. Here's that off-speed break ball that stays up and in.
As I mentioned, the Orioles saw him twice in spring training. The first one was the first start. There's Jeff Jones, the pitching coach for the Tigers.
He got that one way back. Everybody just looking, including the outfield. Goodbye, home run. Chris Davis delivers the long ball for the Orioles, his 26th. 72 RBIs. 3-1.
You're kind of cruising along, and got him in trouble early in the game. He got out of it, and then Chris Davis hits a mammoth home run. We'll see if that affects him. It certainly affected him on the scoreboard. He just gave up a run, but he's still got a 2-run lead.
4th home run he's given up in the 27 innings pitched.
Yeah, we talked about not having to throw strikes. Well, he's behind Chris, and he does throw a strike, and it's launched. Out over the plate, power zone.
Chris continues to be the leader in the American League in home runs hit in his own ballpark. He has really used the confines here to get the long ball. He's got 18 home runs here, 18 of the 26. And for Karen Zubris, our Maryland lottery contestant, that's $500 on that homer. Well, the Orioles get to within a couple. Leaders a base hit his first time up. Castellanos has got this one. 2 down. Here's our PNC minor league report.
Cesar Cabral, we saw him in spring training, so they get him, a veteran, a guy that's been around. And you can see not pitching as a starter, bullpetter. You can always use left-handed guys that can come in. That's a nice little number there. 37 innings, 3-0, low ERA.
J.J. Hardy up with 2 down, a run in. He popped out to the pitcher, trying to lay down a sacrifice bunt. His first time up. He'll put this one in the air to right field. J.D. Martinez. And he's got it. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on for the Orioles. The long ball one more time. Chris Davis, who leads them in that department, delivers it. Puts the Orioles on the board. He says no question the Blue Jays won the non-waiver trade deadline frenzy by a wide margin against the AL East rivals, arguably against everyone else in Major League Baseball. The improvements, he says, those are significant upgrades to 20% of the team made by their GM Alex Anthopoulos. Now all they got to do is win.
Yeah.
Toronto's just a game above 500. Their loss yesterday dropped them into 3rd place, a game behind the Orioles and 6 behind the Yankees. Castellanos leading it off here against Jimenez, who's retired 10 in a row. Castellanos grounded out his first time up. Will foul that one back for a 1-1 count.
You talked about the home run hit at the right center off of Kevin Gausman, the only runs he gave up. But that he's been relatively hot. Anytime you hit 5 home runs in 12 games.
And the big shot on a good pitch.
There is Kevin Gausman, first win as a starter.
Good outing yesterday. in the rotation. 2-2 mark for Kevin now. 1-2 delivery on the way. Castellanos will take that one up high.
Well, we talked about the fact that you could see it with their approach. I mean, J.D. Martinez hits a 3-run home run, but Ubaldo wants them to chase, and they're not chasing. You know, tight strike zone. They got the best average, the best on-base percentage. They really have to make good pitches, as we've seen. You know, Gausman overpowered him. I mean, he just, you know, 95 to 98, sitting on 96 all night long. So he was able to actually throw the ball in a term and make quality pitches, but threw it by him. Otherwise, they have a pretty good idea of what they want to do.
Very fine offensive ball club. 2-2 delivery on the way, and that'll just miss outside as he leaned in and took a look. 3-ball, 2-strike count with the 7th pitch of this at bat. Castellanos has not had a hit off Ubaldo Jimenez. 0 for 5 lifetime against him. 3-2 delivery on the way, and that'll go to third base. Manny Machado, busy day. Gets out. On Wednesday, August 19, all fans at that game against the Mets will receive a Manny Machado, Jonathan Scope handshake Orioles t-shirt. Celebrate the Unstar signature on-field greeting. It's a great addition to your Birdland wardrobe. Tickets at Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. There they are. Good friends, outstanding players. And in the middle, their mentor, J.J. Hardy. Avila, and he will take the pitch inside for a ball. Avila grounded out his first time up. 6 for 26 lifetime now against Jimenez.
Yeah, working on a 2 for 22.
One-0 delivery to him, and he was fooled on that pitch.
Yeah, this is the 10th game of a 10-game road trip for the Tigers. 3-6. Funny the way they swung the bat. Brad Ausmus said, we didn't hit well till we got here, and Orioles have been pitching well. You never would have known it.
No.
The bats they've had. 1-1
delivery's just going to miss outside. Pretty good for a club that leads the league in average not to be swinging the bat very well, huh?
Well, their best hitter with the calf pull, there's Wally Joyner. Hitting instructor David Newhand, former Oriole, is the assistant.
Jimenez, the 2-1 pitch to him. Then back inside and kept it down low. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Only had 2 fly ball outs, and they both came in the first inning. Everything else has been on the ground. 2-2 delivery on the way, and that, of course, was the inning where one of those fly balls left the ballpark. 3-ball, 2-strike count. And again, every time we show Buck, he's going to the
I think he's probably trying to wondering if was that a strike or not.
3-2 delivery on the way. That was, and Jimenez picks up his second K.
Yeah, the 2-2 pitch, he started it probably right in the corner, ran off. This one starts on the plate. Watch him just go. Alex Avila thinks it's going to be over the plate. 2-seamer, pulled down, ball runs. He doesn't catch up.
And that will bring up Raja Davis. Davis grounded out his first time up. Jimenez really settling in after that first inning. That's 12 in a row now, retired by the Orioles starter. Davis with the outfield moved in all the way around, especially Adam Jones in center. 1-0 pitch will be a base hit. Just enough to get over the head of Chris Davis. Going to go for 2. Throw by Reimold is not in time. Heads up, he's going to go to third. That hurt Jonathan Scope. He makes a turn, starts home, now goes back. On the relay play, when Reimold picked it up to throw, Scope had gone to the outfield and looks like he's hanging on to his right leg.
Well, I think he hit him because he thought he was the cutoff man, but I don't think Jonathan was looking.
I don't think he was either.
But take a look. I mean, right here out of the box, Raji Davis is thinking too to come right up here, and he just throws it down. And I guess maybe he was in the line of fire. We got Richie Bance Zells, the Orioles head trainer, out.
Well, there's a strange play.
It is. I mean, I can't imagine that Nolan Reimold thought that he was cutting the ball up, because you got to know who's running. He knows.
No, he saw him running.
Yeah,
I agree with you, Joe.
Yeah,
I think he was trying to throw to second, and Scope was right there, and he hit him with it.
Well, hopefully he's all right. And of course, Davis with his speed all the way to third.
That'll be a single, I'm assuming, and a two-base error. Maybe they'll give him a double, because he certainly was going to make it, whether that throw had gone through or not.
Well, the year that Reggie Jackson got in the Hall of Fame, he was trying to convince everybody, Catfish Hunter, alive at the time, that he was a great fielder. And of course, Catfish said, Reggie, you got in here because of the 564 home runs. And what I remember is Danny Cater turned around to argue a play in Oakland, and while he was arguing with the umpire, Reggie hit him in the back side of the neck. And of course, Catfish remembered. They said that's the only cutoff man you ever hit.
Now looking for a 2-out RBI.
So those freaky things, and that was one of them.
Yeah.
I think Jonathan's just trying to duck to get out of the way, and Nolan's throw hits him.
It's a double and an error. Charged on the throw by Reimold. Runner at third base, Davis. 2 down. And the pitch taken inside by Anthony Gose. So this is a big chance to put another run up to get that run back that the Orioles got on the home run by Chris Davis.
Yeah, it's amazing. Davis's double was very much like the Gose double off of Darren O'Day. I mean, it's kind of like you got a wedge in your hand if you're playing golf.
Check swing. He went around. Home plate umpire will make the call. Woodring. For the Tigers today, they're 1 for 2 so far in these situations. Manny Machado will play in at third, recognizing the speed of Gose. And Davis, of course, with great speed at third. Ground ball towards the hole. Scope dives and can't get it. A base hit and a run scored just out of his reach, maybe even under his glove. Gose with the RBI, and the Tigers do get that run back 4-1.
Yeah, you got to play a step shallower because of the speed factor that you talked about, and then a little slider. He just hits it to the right side. You're up the middle. Don't expect maybe that he's going to pull. And again, just didn't quite get to it.
So Gose with a big 2-out RBI base hit. Didn't take him long to get the run back. He's got 17 driven in now. And here's Iglesias. So the error mattered, allowing that runner to move up to third base.
And the ability to steal a base, and 15 out of 17 against Ubaldo. So you would think certainly have an option to run here. Big lead.
Iglesias with 2 down. Throw not quite in time, but he's got about as big a lead as he can get.
Well, what you try to do, number one, you can't let him get one of those running leads. You can see him inching off. So you got to make him stop. The other thing is hold the ball and hope that he leads. Let's see if he gets as big a lead. See if he gets over that cutout. Hold it, and then he goes.
Pitch out call. Wieters throw, and not in time. A little bit on the shortstop side of the bag, and with Gose's speed, it's got to be perfect. Close play, nevertheless.
Yeah, I was never a big fan of pitching out, only because he never stopped the runner. So Gose has he's got great speed. He gets a running lead, and the throw is not a horrible throw, but it's again just enough where J.J. Hardy can't let the ball travel because he has to go get it.
Buck has asked the home plate umpire to hold it up, and he wants it looked at. So they're going to challenge here. He'll use his challenge on the call, and it was very close at second base. So we'll go to New York and see what they think, whether or not they'll get a stolen base or not.
Yeah, take a look, and there's the throw. It's off to the shortstop side. So I guess they're going to determine, did he get the calf before the foot hit the base? Probably be able to tell a little bit better from this angle.
I think he said.
Yeah. I just don't know if there's enough to overturn it.
That's interesting.
Great camera shots. It's just the dust. The dust may win this day.
Buck Showalter was talking about this. This is the pop-up slide, which we don't see very much of anymore, where you go down, you make the slide, and you come right back up. But Showalter was talking about that, saying that his coaching staff has talked to the Orioles about using pop-up slides that are dangerous now, because in a pop-up slide most of the time you will come off the bag, and on the continuing tag kind of play you'll be out.
Yeah, I think that one of those angles is maybe enough to change it. But it's, again, so close, they usually don't change ones that...
You can see why you'd come off the bag. That pop-up slide, it brings you up and the foot tends to come up. Now, he didn't.
Yeah, but if you look at this again, it looks like he gets him up on the calf before the foot. See, that angle, it doesn't look, so I guess it depends on...
It's all in the eye of the beholder, whoever that beholder is in New York. And he's safe. So the Orioles have used their challenge, and I suspect that will be one of those where there's not enough evidence to overturn the call in the field. I wish they'd get rid of that. Just have two things: plays upheld, plays overturned. I think just saying there's not enough to change the call is kind of meaningless, I think. Runner on at second base, and he's stealing. Strike called. Didn't even turn around on that one. So Ghost has got 2 stolen bases, 15 and 16 on the year. Jimenez just forgot, got caught up in the replay and everything, and away he went.
Well, he's down by 3 runs, and he's thinking, okay, I got to get this guy out, and then you do fall asleep.
Iglesias will line it to center. Jones started in, and he made a mistake. It'll go all the way to the wall. Iglesias will make the turn at second. He will head to third. Takes a look back. He'll go in standing, a triple and an RBI.
And he looked like he's limping a little bit. I know he had the leg surgeries last year. Either that or he just knew, I got to stand up triple and I'm going to take that. But again, the ball hit real hard. Tell you, ball hit at you. Hardest play for a center fielder or an outfielder. You don't have time to read. I don't think this one knuckled, but the Gold Glover right over his head for a triple in the 5th run.
That is the 3rd triple picked up this year by Iglesias, and he belted that one. He'll get RBI number 47. Rondon joined the ball club yesterday, just getting up to throw, so trying to buy some time for him now with a visit to the mound.
And it doesn't get any easier with Kinsler, who was 10 for 14. He did hit a sharp ground ball the last time to Manny Machado.
Strange inning. All of this has happened with 2 outs. After there were 2 down, there had been 12 in a row retired, and then Raja Davis got that bloop double to right on the throw by Reimold that hit Scope, went to third. Ghost gets the RBI base hit, steals 2 bases, and Iglesias brings him home in a triple. And that will be fouled away by Kinsler, who's walked and scored and grounded out. So far, not a good Sunday afternoon to the Orioles. They now trail at 5-1. And Ian Kinsler, an RBI chance. And he went around on it. Just got tied up. Not really a swing, but the bat went around. 0-2.
Yeah, the only starter for the Orioles in these 4 games, again, kind of reiterating what I said, was Gausman, who overpowered him.
Yep.
It's very hard if you're a finesse pitch to contact pitcher, which is what Miguel is, Chin is, and now Ubaldo, to get these guys out.
That's going to be a base hit. Again, just going where they aren't. And an RBI before they even get the ball in. Buck Showalter's already on his way out.
Yeah, you throw it on the corner, you think it's a good pitch, and it is until he serves it into right field. And as you mentioned, it started with Raji Davis just kind of getting jammed and flaring one over the head of the first baseman.
So he had retired 12 in a row. He has had only 1 win in his last 6 starts, and he won't get one here.
Came in 8-6, so 4 2/3. The home run by J.D. Martinez in the 1st, then settled down, and then here in the 5th, some bloopers, some seeing eyes, and also some good at bats. Time for a little relief for your car too. Visit Jiffy Lube for regular oil changes and help prevent damage and wear to your engine. Jiffy Lube, drive in today. Jorge Rondon, so he pitched very well down at AAA Norfolk for the Orioles. Only an ERA a little over 2 runs a game. You could see almost a strikeout an inning. 1 inning with the Rockies early on. They got him out of that organization, and it was not a good one. 10 runs in 1 inning and 8 hits, so one of those nightmares. So we'll see what kind of stuff he has.
Rondon out of Venezuela. He is 27 years old. Right-hander, claimed off waivers by the Orioles, and this will be his 4th major league game. Runner on at first base. First pitch will go out to left field off the bat of Victor Martinez. Parra will handle it there. 1 pitch gets the out. Inning ends, but not before the Tigers add 4 and increase their lead 6-1. Long run from right field to second, and then you got to carry the base back. Thank goodness the bird was out there, and as the youngster gets to the finish line, the bird is there to
fly away with him.
Give the youngster a little help. Those are mighty short steps right there. Good job. Base was as big as the youngster. Now what do I do? Here, take this.
Let me take that for you.
And the pitch will be taken away by Paredes. Paredes hit into a double play his first time up. Orioles DH, Scope, and then Reimold. 7, 8, 9 in the lineup. And will be taken up high.
But Daniel Norris says, I kind of like this.
It's a good team to pitch for.
Yeah, right. I'm going to get 3 in the first. I give up a home run to Chris Davis to get me 3 more. Now I got to figure out how to get out of the 5th to qualify for the win.
And if he wants to win, he better stay in longer than that, the way the bullpen has gone.
Well, that's, I don't know. I think he probably, he seems like a pretty smart young kid. Everybody makes a big deal about living in the Volkswagen, which is certainly unusual, but, he was a 3-sport star. Dad owned a bike shop. He likes to bike. He likes to surf. He likes to fish. He likes to be outdoor. He likes the $2 million they gave him to sign because he's got a good arm and he's left-handed. And
there you go.
Yeah,
life's good.
Yeah.
Get a new surfboard. Keep the van.
Now, is he David Price, the number 1 guy in the draft coming out of Vanderbilt? Who is?
3-2 delivery. Look out. Wow. That went into the Tiger dugout right by Brad Ausmus. I think it went right down the tunnel.
Well, in the old days, that is the coolest place because that's usually where the air conditioning and the breeze comes up. But boy, easy to get hurt on that toss. He did it again. He did it yesterday. I'm talking about all the pine tar and all that. This is an Olympic sport right down the tunnel.
First one. That's a first. I've never seen one go down the tunnel.
I saw Butch Hobson actually, in Fenway.
Yeah.
How it goes down and what about 10? He actually, the torpedo went right down. I thought about grabbing him until it was my right arm, and I kind of waved at him as he went by.
If you'd only been on the other side, I could have helped.
Key down, a little bit. Jeez.
And here's John of the Scope, 1-0 outside. We were talking the other day about back in 1908 when
we were.
No, we were
1908.
1908 when the National League president at the time, John Haidler, talked about adding the 10th man rule, which in effect was a DH. The discussion of way back then. Somebody was kind enough to bring in an article from the Sporting News back then, where Haidler explained why he thought there should be a DH and pitchers shouldn't hit. Ground ball will go to short. Iglesias up with it. And what Haidler said was, we're quoting him now from the Sporting News, most of the pitchers can't hit the side of a haystack with a snow shovel. And the spectators sit back in calm resignation when they see such a pitcher slowly wandering towards the plate. Now and again, that type of pitcher does make a safe hit. in a ball game, but the next morning the newspapers chronicle it in large black letters.
That's exactly why you need a DH.
Exactly.
1908.
This is 1908.
Right. So how come some people get it?
I'm telling you, can't hit the side of a haystack with a snow shovel.
Now, the only people that like the pitcher hitting are the other pitchers who get to strike him out.
That's right. That's right. And the fans do get a break. You get to relax, sit back. You know the guy's not going to get a hit, so you don't.
And if he does, you're going, how'd that happen?
And a swing and a miss by Primal to hit into a fielder's choice his first time up. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
But I will say this for the National League purists. Now that I know 1908, tradition. Well, that's So, I mean, is that good? Some traditions aren't a good thing.
I just wish it was both the same.
That's
the only thing I don't like. Have it either way, but have it the same. But that's not going to happen. We're in one league with, one without. Especially troublesome during the playoffs, where they change the whole picture of a game or a series.
Well, also with your interleague play, you go home and you just watch the Angels. They get swept down in Houston. Now they got to go play the Dodgers in L.A. Who do they get? Greinke and Kershaw.
And a pitcher hitting.
They haven't given up a run since May or something like that.
Since 1908. And that's their first strike. So Norris on the changeup will get his 4th strikeout. He retires the side in order. And Tigers remain on top 6-1.
Had a nice offensive series. And J.D. Martinez gets him off on the right track. 3-run home run. And then the Orioles defense, best in baseball. Least amount of errors. Manny Machado every night. Highlight reel. And then Chris Davis, home run number 26 off of Daniel Norris, making his first start for the Tigers. He makes it at that time 3-1, now 6-1. The Geico highlights: 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote.
Rondon remains on for the Orioles as we go to the 6th inning. Came on 1 pitch, got the final out in the 3rd. Shift on, and that will be fouled back into the screen. So for the Orioles starter, Jimenez, charged with the 6 runs on 6 hits. Home run, 1 of them. Picked up by none other than J.D. Martinez. He's at the plate and takes the pitch down low for a ball. We will be with you tomorrow night, starting that West Coast trip with those extra at 9:30 and the ball game at 10 on Matson 2. And we'll see who the Orioles starter is, and perhaps it certainly looks like Tyler Wilson. And interesting to see who the roster change move will include.
Yeah, it does present a problem.
Yeah. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Scope standing right behind second base, and that's going to be a base hit into left field. So Martinez, he gets the single. He is 2 for 3. And Orioles baseball on Masson, brought to you by University of Maryland University College. And on this date, it was in 1970. The O's win their 23rd straight game against the Kansas City Royals, setting a major league record. That was over the 2-year span. And in 1938, bright yellow baseballs were used in the first game of a doubleheader. In the nightcap, teams went back to the regular white baseball. And that was the end of yellow balls in baseball.
Well, it was part of that 23 game winning. It was incredible. Whatever we needed. I mean, if you needed a 3-run home run, they throw a 3-run home run. If you needed a bad base running play, they'd have a bad base running play. An error, whatever. I mean, it was like you dial it up. Actually, Mo Drabowski, who was a terrific pitcher for us, gets traded to Kansas City. Frank Robinson hits a 3-run home run off him, and then he gets traded back to us for the postseason. It was one of those, one of those streaks.
That ball game was at Memorial Stadium in 1970, and the Orioles got 5 runs in the first inning. They beat the Royals 10-8 in that 23rd consecutive win.
We were losing one day, and it was, it had been rain Friday, Saturday. Now it's Sunday afternoon. We're down, and it's going to rain any minute. Field sopping wet, and it starts pouring. Bring on the tarp. The game is reversed, and we didn't even lose that day. It was just whatever you needed, it happened. I just thinking about 23 straight wins against anybody.
That's when the Royals were a Yankee farm team for the most part.
That was back in the. That was like in the 50s when
Roger Maris too.
Yeah, back in the 50s.
That old group came out of there. Yeah.
Bob Serve and
there's a broken bat back to the mound. Rondon will go to first base. Down to second will go Martinez, and there's one away here in the 6th. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Cheering them on here at Camden Yards.
We've got to cheer the hitters. We've got to cheer Rondon to get out of this inning as the Tigers get another runner in scoring position. Yeah, Martinez hit a 96-mile-per-hour fastball. He just turned on it like it was batting practice.
Yeah. He's a quality hitter. Castellanos 0 for 2, 1 for 11 in the series. Tigers are already 4 for 5 with runners in scoring position in the ballgame. Hit number 7 for them, out hitting the Orioles 7-3. Inside out, fly ball towards the seats in foul territory, and that's where it'll end up.
It almost looks like Wally Joyner, who again is the hitting instructor. Big ballpark. I mean, he got Miguel Cabrera, arguably one of the best hitters in baseball. He's on the DL now, won the Triple Crown. It's almost like, okay, we're going to hit there because if we keep hitting routine fly balls to center, they're going to get caught. Ample room. But let's just spray line drives all over the ballpark, and they brought it here to Camden Yards. And then they have enough guys to hit home runs. They parlay it into some awesome offense.
Just talking to Dave Dombrowski about that. He was talking about Wally Joyner, who, as most hitting coaches, that's how you're trying to teach guys. Take the ball where it is, go the other way when you can. Wally Joyner teaches that to this Tiger team. And Dave said the key is when your big players, your stars, are willing to do that, the others follow. And this Detroit ball club, all of their outstanding hitters all hit that way. Even Cabrera.
Cabrera, he's the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the poster boy for using the whole field.
Kinsler's developed into that. Dave was saying even Cespedes, before he was traded, who was a pull hitter, once he came here and realized what he could do going the other way, he started doing that. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Inside on him, jammed him. It'll be fouled off.
Yeah, if you go back and look, I mean, some of the better players. I mean, Adrian Beltre down in Texas. Of course, had the one big year with the Dodgers. He goes up to Seattle because it's a big ballpark. He's trying to pull, and then he goes to Boston. And then he gets a hit in that lineup. And all of a sudden he starts using right field. And one of the toughest outs in the American League when healthy because of that ability. Dave Magadan now is hitting instructor down there. He was the hitting instructor in Boston.
That is J.J. Hardy with a great stop throw over to first base, and he got him. Outstanding play again by the Orioles shortstop.
Yeah, I was talking to Alan Trammell, talking about great shortstops. He's one of the consultants, and I said, "Do you ever dive very much?" He said, "Every once in a while on plays like that. Don't want the ball to get into the outfield, and you're going to catch it first, and as it turns out, Castellanos doesn't run that hard. Then he gets up and from his knees throws a perfect strike." That's not something I don't see him. I mean, he doesn't practice diving. He doesn't practice throwing. But when they get to make the play, it gives you an idea of how coordinated major league players are.
So now there are 2 down. Rondon with a chance to get out of it. Martinez still on at second base. Avila has struck out and grounded out. One-0 delivery on the way, and that'll be foul back for Rondon. Told you this is Major League appearance number 4. He had 1 with the Cardinals and 2 with Colorado before they released him. He had 29 combined games this year with AAA Tides and the AAA Albuquerque team. He went 2-1, 47 innings, 10 earned runs, a 1.91 ERA combined, AAA. 1-1 delivery. Will just miss, maybe a little inside and low, and a 2-ball 1-strike count on Avila.
Well, it won't make much of a difference here with 2 outs, but I don't think Buck Showalter doesn't notice he's not checking the runner at second. He has come up on a couple of occasions and not even looked.
Shift is on.
See, he never looked back.
Nope.
Now, it doesn't matter because you're not stealing a base, but if it was any of the speedsters, we've already seen what they can do.
Ghost has stolen second and third in this ball game. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Raja Davis hoping for an at-bat. Waiting on deck. Here's the 2-2 delivery on the way, and that will miss outside. So Rondon will take the count full.
Yeah, he came up for Mike Wright, who was brought up when Tommy Hunter was traded to the Cubs, who actually got a save last night for the Cubbies.
He's the closer now for the Cubs. Up in the air, center field. Adam Jones going back. Ball carrying. He's there and makes the catch. Avila retired. No runs ahead. A base runner left on. Armas the do-ups. Machado, Power, and Jones when we come back. 20 convenient locations throughout the Baltimore area. Visit them in store or online at mile1.com. Off to Oakland after the ball game. The 3-game set there. Tomorrow at 10. Tuesday the same. And you see their record at 46-59. A very disappointing season. Stephen Vogt's been their leader offensively, and they're the probable starters.
Yeah, watch Chris Bassett, young right-hander. Same with Kendall Graveman. He came over, I believe, from Toronto. So we'll see some. And of course, Chavez, cutter. I think throws the highest percentage of cut fastballs in baseball tomorrow night.
Here's Manny Machado as the Orioles try and get back into the ball game here, trailing by 5. Machado's had an 0 for 2. He has flied out, struck out. Manny looking at one of those magic numbers. He's after 100 doubles, should get there before the year's done, but not on this one. He's got 93 in his career. And Machado is retired. In our Major League Notebook, talking about Oakland, their leader. Now with the trading deadline done, he said it's August 1st. Trade deadline's over. Now we go. This is a good team in this clubhouse. And that was a great win for us, talking about getting out of a 3-game losing streak yesterday. To come out and make a push these last 2 months, let's have some fun.
Well, we talked about it a little bit on the air, and you and I were talking about it before the game. They started out 1-13 in 1-run games, 10-25. They score more runs than they give up. They have the best and the lowest ERA in baseball. So we will kind of see the Orioles, as we mentioned, don't hit as well on the road. So it'll be a test. Big ballpark. Different weather.
Daniel Norris gets one into Parra. He pops it up. Shortstop. Iglesias back, glasses on. He puts it away again, and there are 2 down. For every Orioles walk, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50 to the March of Dimes. 257 walks, $12,850. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. 2 outs here in the 6th inning.
Yeah, not the way you envision the game if you're a starter for the Orioles, where you got a young pitcher on his Major League debut because he pitched the first month for the Blue Jays, but you wanted to keep it close, and Ubaldo couldn't do that.
Daniel Norris, highly touted, and you can see why so far in this game. A walk, 4 strikeouts. Jones will swing through that one. The 0 for 2 for Adam.
Well, he's got a very simple windup. Just kind of gathers himself, hands right over the knee. Front shoulder gets closed. Very athletic. 6'2", 195-ish.
He's retired 7 in a row. Adam will pop that one up and could be the 8th in succession. Kinsler has it. 3 pop-ups here in the 6th inning. And the Orioles are retired. The Tigers maintaining their lead 6-1. A 6-1 lead. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer here. And for Jimenez, what did you see today?
Tight strike zone. One mistake. Looked like he may get out of it. Of course, J.D. Martinez has hit a lot of mistakes. 29 home runs, 3-run home runs. And then we know they're swinging real well. So, you know, he's got to pitch to contact. They are, and I've said this, with the exception of the Gausman game where he was just overpowering, they've had a lot of quality at bats. And so, you know, now you're going to go on a 9-day trip to the West Coast. You're 10 games under 500. Going to be a, you know, this ball club, they pride themselves in grinding it out. This is going to be a grind, not only this game here, because they have a chance in this game, but they need to grind it out over the next 10 days and kind of see where everything is.
And the West Coast is always tough for all the East Coast ball clubs when they go out there, seemingly. Here is Rajah Davis. Davis, a double, a run scored in the 5th inning. He is also grounded out. Rondon on, and that's going to go to left field. Will it stay up? Caught by Parra, almost got underneath it.
Well, afternoon game, line drive. We already saw Adam Jones play a potential out into a triple. So he thinks he has a good read on it. He is a Gold Glover. I mean, made a nice adjustment, but it's not an easy play. White shirts. And a lot of orange ones, of course.
And a pink carnation. And a pink carnation. Marty Robbins. Here is Anthony Gose, leadoff batter. Gose, base hit and a run scored in the 5th inning. 1 for 3 and then make it 2. Again, because of that speed, Manny Machado plays in against him and has no chance on a ball hit hard that way. And again, Tigers able to put the ball where they've got a best chance for a hit. Tickets on sale now for the Orioles Hall of Fame luncheon Friday, August 14. It'll be at noon, Warehouse here at Camden Yards. Luncheon will be honoring Melvin Mora, Gary Renicky, John Lowenstein, and Fred Ullman Sr. They'll be honored that evening as well on field for the Orioles game. Tickets for the luncheon are available at 410-247-2703 or get info at Orioles.com. 8-hit ball game now for the Tigers. 2 of them have come off the bat of Iglesias. That's going to go all the way to the backstop and down to second base. Goes Gose. All the way to third goes Gose. This is not a good day for the Orioles.
Well, they're first of all, they had a great at bat. You're right about if you can bunt a little bit, they got to play in, so he gets to first. And then Matt, goes back and has trouble picking it up, and Gose says, "Well, plays in front of me. I have speed. If you're not going to really," it's not that he didn't hustle. You got to sprint back there and get it. Otherwise, he's going to take advantage of it, and would have been a very difficult throw.
So Iglesias now has a drawn in infield with 1 down. He'll put it up in the air. Jones lining himself up for the throw. Gose has got great speed, takes off. Here comes the arm to Wieters. It's there. He is out. Oh, what a throw. Right on the money by Adam Jones against one of the league's fastest base runners. And whether or not they're going to challenge this.
Well, everything gets challenged. Watch him time this. So, catch. And the throw, short hop, nice play. And then bang, bang.
Not gonna. That play stands up. Man, what an out at the plate. Here at Camden Yards, yet another defensive assist for Adam Jones in the outfield. The Orioles picked up more of those on their outfield than anyone else in the American League, and that was a great way to end the inning.
31. I mean, again, the Orioles know that they would like to get to the bullpen. Of course, Daniel Norris hasn't been cooperating because he's been really good other than the home run. Got behind Chris Davis. So again, this is the guy they got for David Price, and along with two other hard-throwing young pitchers, Matt Boyd, a lefty, and then Laborte.
Here comes Chris Davis, and here comes our Alexis Towson, drive of the game.
Now moonshot, home run number 26. At the time, it was 3-0, made it 3-1. And Daniel Norris will learn if you get behind home run hitters and throw fastballs in the middle of the plate. That's what happens. Part of the game.
Lexus Towson drive of the game brought to you by Lexus Towson, the area's #1 volume Lexus dealer, 5 years running. See why at LexusTowson.com. Fans settling back in. 7th inning stretch time here at Camden Yards. Norris working into the 7th inning of this ball game. Just his 6th start. Chris Davis, Wieters, and Hardy will be due up for the Orioles. We'll try and put a run on here, as they had to do in a couple of games here in this series against the Tigers. He'll take the pitch up high for a ball, but a very impressive performance by this 22-year-old Daniel Norris here in this ball game. 1-0 delivery, and that pitch is going to miss outside. Norris had pitched only once here before. That was in relief back in September of last year. A run on a couple of hits in an inning. 2-0 delivery. And just popped it up foul. Souvenir.
Well, how about the 6th inning? Popped up Machado, Parr, and Jones. So usually the 3rd time through the order, if maybe guy loses a little bit of stuff, hadn't walked anybody.
8 in a row retired by Norris. 2-1 delivery on the way, will miss up high. Orioles need base runners. Chris will take a free pass here if he can get it.
Well, that's a home run pitch, because what happens is he is okay. The last time I went 2-1, he hit a home run, so I'll throw him a breaking ball. He hasn't gotten it over because he hasn't had to, so maybe he will get a walk.
3-1 is a towering pop-up. Kinsler and Martinez finds it and makes the catch. Both struggling on a ball that was a mile high. As promised earlier in the game, we selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to O's Couch Cam, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Something tells me that was not a selfie. Just guessing. Then again, Matt Wieters, base hit, 1 for 2.
Well, you mentioned how the Tigers, of course, they lose their left fielder. They lose arguably one of the best starters in baseball. They lose their closer. And they have played real hard in this series.
Yep.
I mean, really. And you're seeing it again today. I'm talking to Dan Dickerson, who does the radio with Jim Price, and you're not going to see him again because what 10 days, 12 days you play him and that's it. And I said, good luck. And he said, yeah, it could be a long 2 months. I said, well, we did a 4-32 finish here. He said, no, you didn't. I said, yeah, I did. And he looked it up. And you know what the record was when the Orioles in 2002 ended up going 4-32?
500.
500.
Played back at short. Iglesias makes the catch. 2 down.
Yeah, everything. I mean, this is the new normal for the shortstop. J.J. Hardy would have gone over. It would have been kind of textbook, but he can play. So the Orioles, yeah, they only won 4 of their last 36 games, and they were 500 at the time.
Can you believe that?
So if anybody ever really knows what's going to happen, like between now and the rest of the season, you just don't know. Yeah.
We don't ever want that to happen. If you have the answer to all that, keep it to yourself. We need the money. Pitch is taken away for a ball. J.J. Hardy has popped out and flied out. 1-0 count. Daniel Norris just kind of rocking along here. 1-0 delivery, and that is in there for a strike.
Must have a lot of movement on the fastball. 92 has been the high. I think he threw one pitch, 93, but and there's the hook. That's a good curveball. I mean, it's going around the plate, but the one we saw in spring training was Kershaw-like, and that's about the ultimate compliment for a left-hander's curveball.
2-1 delivery, fastball. And that will do it in the inning as McCann makes the play. 7 complete here at Camden Yards, and the Tigers are on top by a score of 6-1.
Yeah, the Orioles down 6-1. Goes all the way to third on a single and a wild pitch. And then check this out. Check the throw, check the tag, and Goes can fly. Bang, bang at the plate. Leaders the tag before he's able to make and score the 7th run. Look at that, 31 outfield assists.
Orioles outfield really has helped their pitching and a part of this #1 defense in the league, arguably in the majors. Rondon came on in the 5th inning, got the final out, so he's going into his 3rd full inning, he hopes. Kinsler, a base hit, a walk, RBI, and a run scored, and another. He's a hit machine.
Yeah, well, yeah, and he, right there is a hanging slider, but it doesn't really matter. He's hit about every pitch. He's hit breaking balls, fastballs, right field, left field. The only thing he hasn't done is hit it out of the park.
So he's on with a leadoff single. That'll be a chance again for the Martinez twosome to get something done. Bruce Rondon, no relation that we know of to the Orioles. Jorge Rondon.
Different uniform and a bigger version.
So clearly not related. 0-1 count. And the pitch is there for a strike. Victor Martinez 0 for 3 in the game. Orioles have been able to hold Victor Martinez down all season long.
Well, a 1 for 16 in this series. Just imagine if he got some pitches to hit.
Pitch will be away. Leaders looking for a ball to come in and to stretch out on that one. 4 for 27 on the season against the Orioles for Victor Martinez. 1 home run. 1 ball, 2 strike count on him. Tigers with their 9th hit in the ball game on that single by Kinsler, and that pitch is going to miss away. Count 1-2.
I haven't seen a 3rd pitch. Fastball, slider. Fastball in the mid-90s.
Orioles opponent tomorrow at home. We're checking on the count here. Cleveland playing at Oakland. Ball game that'll get underway in a half hour. Pitch on the way, and that will be outside. And the correct count.
I think it's 3-1.
I think it's 2-2.
Okay, scoreboard has 3-1. So
I think the count is 2-2. Scoreboard says 3-1, but 2-2's right. That's why you saw Martinez turn around and ask Tom Woodring, the umpire, about the count. 2-2 delivery is going to be put up in the air to left field. Parra going back, and makes the catch. Runner will go back as well.
Yeah, finally Victor Martinez drives one, and then Parra takes it away.
You can follow the Orioles wherever you are. MLB.com at bat, #1 app for live baseball. App is up to the moment, at any moment. In-game highlights, live look-ins, radio broadcasts, and more. MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet. 1 away. Kinsler remains at first base. J.D. Martinez. Home run, single, 3 RBIs, 3-run homer that he picked up in the 1st inning. Martinez has done the damage against the Orioles with 9 RBIs this year in the 7 games these two teams have played. The Orioles already had wrapped up the season series, coming in 4-2, but this series, Orioles up 2-1. Foul back into the screen and an 0-2 count.
Well, he's hit 16 home runs as we look at Brian Mattis. J.D. Martinez, 16 home runs last 36 games. So you're going to drive in runs, and as you mentioned, the runner in scoring position number just a couple of points under 300. Batting average high 280s.
Rondon's pitch will be up at 96 miles an hour and a 1-ball 2-strike count. Kinsler, very short lead at first base. Chris Davis holding him over there. And he'll put it foul into the seats. Rondon getting some extended work.
Well, he saved the bullpen to some degree.
Yes.
I mean, he's come in. We told you about the one horrendous inning he had for Colorado where he gave up, what, 8 runs or some ridiculous number. 3 walks. He hasn't done that. Thrown strikes. Of course, you bring him up because you think he can do a job. And the Orioles had a couple of other choices, but he was the guy that they thought could come up and.
Count stay, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And the thing about J.D. Martinez is probably you'd love to be able to throw him a slider, get the ground ball, but if you get it up at all, it becomes a pitch that he just seems to be able to drive. So he's not just one of those young fastball hitters who can hit the breaking ball too, unless you make a perfect pitch.
2-2 delivery on the way, and he did. And the foul tip held onto by Wieters for a strikeout for Rondon.
Yeah, 94 right on the corner. Stayed out of the middle of the plate. He's thrown his slider enough. You can see him pull down on it. That's how you get the movement. And then locates perfectly. He is pitched under control. First time I've seen him.
James McCann coming up with a runner at first. 0 for 3 in the ball game. 5 for 15 though in the series. Young Detroit Tiger catcher in his 71st game of the year. 5 home runs, including 1 against the Orioles. And that pitch taken for a ball. This has been a very quiet game in some ways. But the Tigers settled it in that first inning with that 3-0 lead, kind of dampened everything from the Orioles' perspective. The Orioles getting the home run by Davis and only 3 hits off Daniel Norris. And if it could go wrong for the Orioles in this game, it pretty much has. And that's crediting the Tigers for making it happen.
Yeah, a couple of minor chances. The only walk that was to Davis back in the second. Wieters hit a soft single, and then J.J. Hardy tried to bunt. A little unusual. It popped it up, and Norris got out of that problem.
Orioles have left only 2 on base. Only one of those in scoring position in the ball game. They just haven't had many chances. Base hit by Wieters, base hit by Scope. That's it, along with a home run by Davis. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Ian Kinsler chatting with Chris Davis over there at first base. Leadoff single, but he's still there with 2 down. Rondon with a 1-2 delivery, and that'll miss outside. Orioles will leave the upper 80, 90-degree temperatures here in Baltimore for the much cooler nights, probably, in Oakland. 2-2. Scoop stop made. Wieters had a backhand on the short hop on that one. Rondon throws so hard on a pitch in the dirt, you don't have much time to square it up as a catcher and block it. Davis will move behind the runner Kinsler with a 3-ball 2-strike count. And McCann will try and get a base hit towards the gap and bring him home. 3-2 delivery right to Davis. That's why you get off the bag. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. Bottom of the 8th inning, our Honda duo-ups, Jimmy Paredes, Jonathan Scope, Nolan Reimold. Maryland Fire Chiefs and Maryland State Firemen's Associations. Email mdfirevolunteer@gmail.com. Volunteer with your local fire, rescue, and EMS. Barry Thorne and Jim Palmer, Sunday afternoon here in the city. 6-1 Tigers on top. And there's the man who's held the Orioles to a run on 3 hits.
Yeah, only the home run. So again, the walk. Chris Davis the home run. Chris Davis the walk.
Paredes will be leading it off.
How about that? 79 pitches. A lot of pop-ups.
That's efficient, isn't it? Paredes will take the off-speed pitch for a strike. The entire Detroit dugout well aware of who's at the plate. The last time his bat ended up going down the tunnel of the Tiger duck. He was hitting from the other side of the plate. This one popped up back near the screen and just over it.
It's kind of unusual. First time I've seen him do that this year. There's a lot of switch hitters. What, Victorino, Sandoval. They've stopped switch hitting.
Yep. Lefty, lefty. 0-2 count. Didn't help. 5 strikeouts rather for Norris.
Yeah, Norris gets ahead, and then Norris does what you're supposed to do. I mean, look where James McCann puts the glove. He's standing up. Jimmy swings at a ball about shoulder high.
Brady's hitting .255 right and .297 left-handed coming into the ball game. Here is Jonathan Schoop, a base hit, 1 for 2 in the game, and the fastball up high, and that's what his fastball has been, as Jim talked about. He's got the velocity he had at the beginning. One-0 delivery chopped down to the hole, 5.5 and into left field. So Jonathan Schoop's got his second hit. He is 2 for 3 in the ballgame. Well, following our game, the Orioles head west, 9 games, 10 days. Oakland A's up first. Either Chris Tillman or Tyler Wilson will start tomorrow against Jesse Chavez. Our coverage on MASN 2, 9:30. O's Extra presented by Jeep, and our game coverage at 10 with all the access you need right here on MASN.
Yeah, Brad Auspis comes out. Schoop hits a changeup into left for the 4th hit. For the first time, pitched really well. Only the home run to Chris Davis. Again, a lot of fastballs, occasional breaking ball, and changeup. Schoop got him out of the game on a base hit on a changeup as the game progressed. And then Bruce Rondon comes on. Orioles saw him last night. Hard thrower. And again, you can see fastball close to 100, and then a hard slider. And when he gets on top, goes straight down. Inflated numbers. He missed all of last year with Tommy John surgery, so back in the big leagues.
Norris gets his longest outing at 7 1/3 innings. Orioles with a runner on and 1 down. Schoop at first base. Nolan Reimold, fielder's choice, and he's been called out on strikes. Rondon's delivery will be a fastball at 98. Up high, ball 1. Worked against the Orioles an inning, and retired 3 batters that he faced a couple of days ago.
And he is a big young man. 6'3"ish, and the weight somewhere in the 270 to 80 pound weight.
Ground ball will go to short. Iglesias, Kinsley, double play. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. We go to the 9th inning with the Tigers on top 6-1. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Oriole Park at Camden Yards, not too far from Inner Harbor, where the Tigers have a 6-1 lead, and they take it to the 9th inning.
So Brian Mattis, the lefty for the Orioles, comes on. Fastball, curveball, changeup, slider. He's on one of these runs. A couple earned runs over his last 13 1/3 innings, over 15 outings, and then the 21 strikeouts. done a nice job. Dominates left-handers. So did that number 136. Righties. Usually where it ends up. They've let him the last couple of springs really work as a starter to try to command the arm side of the plate, which would be away to righties. So a tune-up. Keep the game where it is. A tune-up for the West Coast trip.
He has not pitched since the 28th against Atlanta, 2/3 of an inning. 9th inning here for the Tigers. And the first pitch from Brian is a called strike. Castellanos leading it off. Nick Castellanos 0 for 3 in the ball game, 1 for 12 in the series. 28-year-old left-hander of the Orioles. He'll get that one up and by him, and the count goes to 0-2. Good job by Jorge Rondon of the Orioles, 3 1/3. No runs, 1 strikeout, and 3 hits. Tigers getting 3 in the first inning. Home run by J.D. Martinez to make it a 3-0 game. They've not looked back. 5th inning, they added 3 more on 4 hits. Gose, Iglesias, Kinsler, all RBIs in that inning. Orioles, the home run by Davis, the only run on the board. Brian Mattis with a 1-2 count. Castellanos kind of reaches and golfs that one foul.
Yeah, good.
1-2.
Oh, good changeup. Yeah, Brian comes in a game where, of course, when he signs, he was the 4th overall pick, 2008, and he was going to be a Daniel Norris. Came up as a starter. 2010, 2 years after signing, pitched 32 games, 10 and 12 that year. And then eventually to the bullpen, dominates it lefties, as we mentioned.
To right field, Nolan Reimold. Castellanos is retired. Speaking to Brian, cooperation with Casey Cares. Yesterday, Orioles Reach partnered with Casey Cares Foundation. The 6th annual Casey Cares 5K run walk ends up here at Oriole Park. Brian Mattis served as the race ambassador. Proceeds personalized, uplifting, ongoing programs for the critically ill children and their families through the Mid-Atlantic region. Part of the Casey Cares Foundation. The race has raised over $190,000. Good job by Brian to help out with it. And the pitch is there for a strike. Avila has an 0 for 3, no hits in the series, 0 for 7. Alex with a 175 batting average. Shift on against him, and he's hit into it, as we noted. First time up, ground ball, out there in right field. 0-1 pitch on the way, and that'll hit the dirt and go back.
Yeah, you mentioned Brian against the Braves. He was the designated Freddie Freeman pitcher. Every time you needed a matchup, Freeman would come up and Brian would come out of the bullpen. 2 of those games very close. Orioles would sweep the Braves earlier on in the week.
1-1. Bounces away, and a 2-ball 1-strike count. Well, the Orioles, they had come into this series, or into this homestand, where they'd scored only 3 runs or less in 14 out of 17 games, and then 43 runs in the past 8 games, including 22 runs in the first 3 games of this series. But this one, at least so far, held to a run on just 4 hits. Orioles have had that kind of up and down offense good part of this season.
And don't you think some of it happens, on the road? Obviously, they're 10 games under 500. 1-run victories have a lot to do with that. But who you're pitching against or who you're hitting against. Same thing applies to your pitching staff. You play Toronto, the ERA is going to go up. Same with New York. Good pitch right here. Gets back to 2 strikes and knee-high fastball. But you're going to go to Oakland, as we mentioned, lowest ERA, the starter ERA in the American League. And then the Angels, they're scuffling a little bit, but they're 5th. So another good pitching. So it would be a good test for your offense.
You don't win without beating them, and that's what the Orioles have got to try and find a way to do. Here's Raja Davis. Davis, I never swing at a first pitch, Raja. Has a double and a run scored. He is 1 for 3 in the ball game. He's got a 4-game hit streak, pushing the average up to that 263 mark. 2 down, nobody on. Brian Mattis looking for the clean inning here in the 9th. And that'll be fouled off the end of the bat. There's Miguel Cabrera. Certainly hope he gets back as quickly as possible. Baseball needs him. The league's leading hitter and maybe the best hitter in the game right now. Certainly, arguably, that's the case.
Well, I don't know if I guess he has enough at bats, but he's hitting 350.
He's got to follow. He's still listed as the leader, but with the number of games he's missing now, he's going to start to fall short of those 3.1 at bats per game that you have to qualify. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Raja Davis will go down swinging. Good job by Brian Mattis. He had a couple of strikeouts and he sets the side in order. Orioles 3 runs to work with. They are down by 5.
Post game, bottom of the 9th coming up. The Orioles down 6-1. And Rick, after 3 games of pounding the baseball, the Orioles bats in this game held in check.
Well, Daniel Norris comes in, a relative unknown. He puts a stop to the Orioles in 7 2/3 innings, only giving up 4 hits and 1 run, a Chris Davis home run.
So the Orioles trail by 5. They have 3 outs to work with. Let's see how it turns out. We'll send you back upstairs now for the big comeback to Gary and Jim.
And that's the hope of the Oriole fans here. 33,381, 3-3-3-8-1 as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning.
And they'll have to do it against Alex Wilson, who came in and got his first major league save on Thursday night. So fastballs, a lot of cutters. I mean, really been pitching well, 93, 94 miles per hour. Orioles saw him last year briefly before he got traded in the Rick Porcello deal. Porcello going to the Red Sox, and Alex Wilson coming over to pitch for the Tigers. So not a save situation, but they are looking for 3 outs. And you can see righties and lefties both around 204 and then 258. Andrew Romine comes in for defense and 5-run lead.
Romine at third base. Castellanos out of the ball game. And the Orioles will have the top of the order. Manny Machado's gone 0 for 3 in the game. Maybe the last chance to extend a 5-game hit streak he currently has. Wilson worked against the Orioles. Game 1 of the series. Worked an inning and 2/3 and retired all of the Orioles that he faced. Pitch on the way will be taken for a strike.
Yeah, he threw strikes and had good movement.
Right-hander. The 0-1 delivery to him. Manny takes that one. That'll be away. Mentioned how Manny's closing in. He's got 93 doubles in his career. One of those landmark numbers is 102 baggers. He should get that this season. Orioles all-time leader is Cal. Cal with doubles 603. And Frank Robinson 400. Frank or Brooks? Brooks with 482, and then Eddie Murray at 363. And Manny's got a chance to get to that 100 doubles mark early in a career. That'll be fouled back over the screen.
Yeah, you go back, remember in 2013 they ended up with 51 doubles, but looked like he was going to get 60 or 70 of them. It was a doubles machine. Now some of those doubles are ended up in the seats. Bigger, stronger version at 23.
2 ball, 2 strike count on him. Power than Jones. Protect me swing on one that rode inside on him. And a 2 ball, 2 strike count on Manny.
Well, that's Wilson. He moved the ball around. He cut it. He's got a little slider. Again, good enough velocity. Strike thrower. And if you look at this bullpen, arguably the best bullpenner out there.
Machado again. Jimenez stands to lose it. 6 runs, 6 hits over 4 2/3 innings. Jorge Rondon 3 1/3 solid innings, giving up 3 hits, a strikeout with no runs. Brian Mattis came on, retired the 3 batters faced in the top half of this inning. Daniel Norris, chance to be the winner, 7 1/3, a run on 4 hits. Machado again fouls it back on the 7th pitch of the at bat. Bruce Rondon worked 2/3 of an inning prior to being replaced here by Alex Wilson. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Outfield shades to right, and the pitch close, taken away.
Yeah, small strike zone. Manny knows it. Looking for a hit, trying to get on for the first time this afternoon. Game's not over. Alex Wilson came through the Texas A&M, came through the Red Sox organization early on, a starter.
3-2 delivery on the way and a ground ball to third. Romine just in. 1 down. Blue Jays leading the Royals 5-2 there in the 9th inning in Toronto in their ball game. Another Eastern Division. The Red Sox leading the Rays by 1 in the 8th. And we'll see how it goes. The Yankees whitewashing the Sox 9-0. They're in the 6th inning of that ball game. The Yankees continue hot. Another home run for Teixeira. 1 down. Here is Parra. He'll go after the first pitch and foul it away. Ellsbury's had his 4th home run for the Yankees. Teixeira's had his 29th off Samaja. Oh, count on Parra. He's had an 0 for 3 in his 2nd game with the Orioles. Oh, 1 pitch to him. A great delivery on that. Down and in.
That's it. Well, he's got a sharp slider. Out of your hand, you don't see the good one. And it just dive bombs. That one did. And we saw the other night, he was able to pitch to both sides of the plate. Looks like he has a pretty good idea of what he's doing.
2 delivery towards the hole, knocked down. Avila makes the fine defensive play. And there are 2 away. Wilson getting over to cover.
Yeah, he's pretty agile as a catcher going over to play first. I mean, this ball easily take a great angle right here, hit sharply, couple of steps, and then just get it to Alex Wilson covering for out number 2.
Adam Jones coming up. He has had an 0 for 3 in the ball game. The Orioles' top 3 have not been on base in the game. Of course, neither anybody else. Davis a walk and a home run. Jonathan Scope couple of singles. It's been the offense for the Orioles. Adam Jones to short. Iglesias, oh my, what a way to end it. And that will end it. So Jones grounds out. A 1-2-3 inning for Wilson. Norris the win, 2-1. Jimenez takes the loss. He is 8-7. No saves in this ball game. Series ends up 2-2. And the Orioles head west. We will be there as they take on Oakland. Either Chris Tillman or Tyler Wilson for the Orioles against Jesse Chavez. A coverage tomorrow, Masson 2, 9:30 O's Extra, presented by Jeep, followed by game coverage at 10. This has been a Masson presentation. O's Extra, presented by PNC. Jim and Rick standing by to take a look back at what ended up being a big first inning in this ball game. For Jim Palmer and all of our crew here at Camden Yards, have a great Sunday night. I'm Gary Thorne. Adieu.